All right, we're more than halfway through the week. Welcome to Spicer & Company. I'm Sean Spicer.
And I'm Lyndsay Keith. Well, Sean, the president is making a big push to challenge the election results in Georgia. It seems like almost every day now he's been tweeting about it, maybe a couple times even. And he's headed there this weekend to campaign for the upcoming runoff Senate races in the state. But I know that you spoke with him last night. How's he feeling specifically about Georgia?
Yeah, I had an opportunity to chat with him for a bit last night and catch up. He feels really good about what's happening in a lot of these cases. He's, he is proud of his legal team, and he thinks that there's a lot of areas that they can be looking into. He's been tuning into these hearings that have been going on, and I think, we're going to be talking to a lot of the folks today. Matt Schlapp, he's in Nevada. Leo Terrell, he's in Georgia. So you're right. I mean, we're going to get an update on a lot of these states, and we're going to get more going. You're right. He's headed into Georgia this weekend to really try to rally the troops for Senators David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. That's going to be a big, big deal. We've also going to have, by the way, in the show, we've got a big thing headed in Wisconsin. Senator Ron Johnson is going to be here, as well as I mentioned, Matt Schlapp and Leo Terrell. Dave Rubin's going to be here. And then, Lyndsay, we've got these two Colorado business owners who are part of a group of business owners that are pushing back against what they call unreasonable COVID lockdown restrictions. They're all going to join us first or later in the show. And I think that that's going to be interesting because these are folks that aren't asking for unreasonable things. They're basically saying, we're willing to do all of these reasonable things and socially distance customers and make them wear masks and all this stuff, but you're shutting us down. And so they band together and said, you know what? We're not going to do this.
Yeah, the interesting thing about it, Sean, is a lot of them did shut down earlier on in the year, and they have had to re-shut down. They're saying it's make it or break it for us ultimately. So we'll have to see what they have to say about that. But also, something that's interesting, I know we're going to talk to Matt Schlapp about this or Leo Terrell later, but is Sidney Powell and some of the comments that she made today that I thought were very interesting and a little bit damaging to Georgia voters.
Yeah, it was interesting because they're trying to thread this needle, rather. Sorry, screwed that one up. That, they want people to get out and vote because everything's riding on the Senate.
Yeah.
And yet you've got Sidney Powell out there, the president's former attorney, out there telling these folks in Georgia not to vote. Yeah. So I want to get into that. And as you recall, we made a big deal the other day about all the media gushing over Joe Biden announcing this all-female press team. But it's actually interesting because our first guest is already part of a very female-heavy contingent press team that's actually serving in the White House. Joining us now is one of those females that's serving in the White House at a very senior position, White House Director of Communications, Alyssa Farah. Alyssa, welcome back to the show.
Sean, thanks so much for having me. As you noted, yes, we actually have already fulfilled that historic accomplishment of having an all-female comms team in senior roles. Of course, we've got excellent gentlemen, many of whom you know in some of the roles underneath the senior leadership. But yes, I'm proud to be part of this team.
But you know what's weird, and I get it. Conservatives, we got to get over it. We're not going to get it. But you work every day really hard trying to advance the president's agenda, serving the American people. Kayleigh's in the White House, Katie Miller in the vice president's office, Stephanie Grisham in the first lady's office. Does it bruise your ego? Does it upset you when you go, are you kidding me? We've done this. It's not just about Alyssa Farah. It's about this team that Donald Trump has appointed. Does it I don't know. I mean, does it upset you at all when you go, are you kidding me? You guys literally are doing bat flips to praise Joe Biden for what we already are doing.
So our friend Dana Perino said it well. As conservative women, we just have to get things done. We know we're not going to get the glowing profiles. We know we're not going to get the credits. I myself was the youngest female Pentagon press secretary before I was in this role, but I did it out of service and, wanting to contribute to this administration. I would say this, though, more importantly, President Trump is someone who at every turn is not given the credit for the incredible accomplishments he's made for the American people. So some of us on staff, we're happy to take a small version of what he's used to dealing with every day. One of the examples I would just note, and I know this is something you've been covering, is what he's been able to do on the vaccine. He's never going to get the full credit he deserves, but he loves the American people, and he's still just going to keep pushing through to get things done.
Yeah, it's amazing. We talk about this all the time. The women who got elected to the House, you all who are serving in the White House. I get it, and Dana's absolutely right. It's like you got to get over it, but it's just sad that that's how the media covers this. Alyssa, I had the chance to chat with the president last night for a while. I talked to him about the Georgia race. He's obviously excited to go down there. He understands what's at stake. But Sidney Powell, who used to work for the president on his legal team, was at a rally earlier today, and she said, quote, all Georgians to make it known not to vote until your vote is secure. I mean, the president himself tweeted the following. He said, I'm going to Georgia. We'll be going for a big Trump rally in support of our two great Republican senators, David and Kelly. They are the fantastic people that love our country and love our state. We must work hard and be sure they win, #USA. You know, Alyssa, the thing that I was talking about this with the president last night, that people don't seem to get this, or some people, I'm sorry, because that's not fair to all people, but if Chuck Schumer becomes a majority leader, there goes all of the work that the president's done supporting conservative justices. They'll pack the court. They'll undo the filibuster. They'll give D.C. statehood and get 2 more votes. They'll undo the regulatory efforts that this president has fought for. Everything that this president has done is on the line in Georgia. And to say don't go vote is so unhelpful.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, the president's been very clear. He wants folks to go out and support our 2 great senators in Georgia. Listen, his, as you mentioned, policy agenda is on the line, but so is packing the courts, the future of our judiciary, all sorts of crazy policies that the left's been pushing, whether it's the Green New Deal that's going to cripple American industry, kill American jobs, offshore American jobs. So really, this is the whole game. If you're a Republican anywhere, your focus should be on the Georgia Senate race and making sure that we win both of those seats.
I agree. I mean, the president's got a great team. He can fight whatever problems and issues he has in Georgia. But at the end of the day, every single person who cares about this president and his agenda needs to understand that they need to get out and vote, encourage anybody that they know in Georgia to get out and vote, because everything that he has fought for over the last 4 years is literally on the line. Chuck Schumer said it so clear. First we take Georgia, and then we take the nation.
Exactly, and I can think of no 2 better torchbearers for President Trump's economic accomplishments, his coronavirus efforts that we've made, like getting a vaccine in historic time, than Senator Loeffler and Senator Perdue, who've been champions of his agenda across the board.
Yeah. You know, it was interesting. I saw this poll out today that shows, I mean, it wasn't a poll. Yeah, I guess it's a poll that shows what happens or what people think of the economy under a potential Biden administration. It blew my mind. I mean, Republicans were so fired up about what this president had done. He went out of the briefing room the other day and talked about the Dow hitting 3,000. And now polling shows that Republicans have turned bearish on the outlook for their family finances since the election, while Democrats' optimism is rising. I mean, Republicans, small business owners, the people who are the backbone of this, get it. A Biden administration would so undo the hard work that this president has done to get the economy on straight footing, to bring manufacturing back, to hold trade agreements back in line from where they should be. And there's so much he's done for the American worker. I mean, I think Republicans get this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and you said it, in addition to creating the hottest economy in modern history ahead of the pandemic, one of the hardest judgment calls that the president had to make is how we balance the economy and Americans' livelihoods and their jobs and their ability to feed their families with dealing with COVID. And those are the toughest decisions that, you know, no commander-in-chief wants to have to make. But I think he really did balance the line between early on, yes, we had to lock down. But after that, let's get as many people back to work. Let's get kids back to school so that, you know, parents are able to get back to their jobs and not having to stay home with kids. I do worry with the incoming administration how they're going to balance these really complicated economic issues, but also health issues that go hand in hand with the pandemic. And I think the president was uniquely suited to deal with those.
Alyssa, before I let you go, real quick, there's a lot of talk on Capitol Hill about a COVID relief bill. What's the White House's position on what the president wants to see signed?
So we would like to see, he said we'd like to go big with it. We support the McConnell package, but there's additional items we would be in favor of seeing. We've been saying for months that we've got to get aid to the American people. It's a shame that the Senate took a recess and the House did during the Thanksgiving holiday without delivering this. Speaker Pelosi's got to walk away from these gigantic asks that are unrelated to COVID and come to the table. McConnell's moved the ball toward cooperation. The White House has conceded numerous times to just try to get aid to the the American people. We are on board. We are bullish that we're going to get a deal. But I will say it's a shame that it's taken this long.
Yeah, it has. Alyssa Farah, White House Communications Director, thank you for joining us. Look forward to having you back soon.
Thanks, Sean.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.